What's good, everyone? You're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM, HD1 Raleigh. We're a student-run nonprofit radio station based out of North Carolina State University. I'm DJ Lucid, and this is Off the Record. Here with me today are a couple of very talented members of the band Dead Fox No Groove. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
What's up? I'm Chapman.
And I'm Blake.
So what are your positions specifically in the band?
I am the rhythm guitarist and the vocalist of Dead Fox.
And I am the drummer / manager.
Okay, great. So where are you both coming from today?
Wilmington,
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we at WKNC appreciate you driving down and being with us here today. One of the biggest questions I had when I first met y'all not so long ago was obviously, what is Dead Fox No Groove?
Ooh.
What is the story behind the name, you guys?
Oh, this is a good one. I want Chappie to tell it, though.
Okay. We always kind of split up this answer, so I'll let you take the latter half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it started off with me and Blake. We were playing just acoustic guitar in Cajon at the time.
Slugging it out, doing long cover gigs.
Exactly.
Still do.
Yeah, true.
That was all we were doing for a little while.
Yeah, and we had been to countless open mics where people introduced us as Chapman and Blake. And I don't know, after like 2 months of that, I finally was like, yo, I'm done with that. We got to lock our...
Not having a name.
2 months. Yeah, that gets it.
We need something.
Yeah, so we locked ourselves in a room and made a vow not to leave until we came up with a good name.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went through name after name. We knew we wanted Fox in the name. And so we were just like trying to come up with like 2-word names. Like Garden Fox was on the table for a minute.
Unfortunately, it was taken.
Garden Fox was taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were really into gardening at that time.
It was a vibe.
It was a short-lived obsession of ours for a minute.
I think Dead Fox No Groove kind of encapsulates you guys better than Garden Fox.
I think it does too. Yeah, and then it came
so,
about
yeah.
like Blake was...
Yeah, so it's like after we ran through all of these like 2-syllable or like, 3-syllable names that we thought were cool that had Fox in it, we found all of them taken. And so I was like, all right, we got to step it up. We need like a 4-syllable name with Fox in it. We were committed to the Fox bit at this point. We both have like a lot of like Fox symbolism, I feel, in our lives. And also being like 2 redheads kind of just, it's like a little bonus, honestly. But yeah, I basically said to Chapman, I was like, look, if it's not going to be like something like 2-syllable, 1-syllable, like something Fox or like whatever, I was like, we need maybe to branch it out. So I'm thinking if we're going to go to 4 syllables, maybe something, for example. And I was like very explicit in this being an example because I did not want whatever I just said off the top of my head to be the band name. I was like, for example, I don't know, like Dead Fox No Groove,
I was like, that's it. That's
the
it.
one.
That's the one.
That's it. And I was like, no, give me like 5 more minutes. I'll come up with a better name. And he was like, no, we're done.
Nope.
That's it. I love
I can
it.
unlock the door now.
Sold.
But it grew on you, obviously.
It did. Honestly, it's like, I feel like it kind of encapsulates this sort of just like off the cuff, like manic energy that we sort of have. And yeah, it's a mouthful sometimes, but I do love it. It's very unique. I'm very big on band names. Mm-hmm. And so, we were really, really committed to like coming up with a good band name at the time. Like it was like we had to have something that was like, unique,
good,
catchy.
It's punchy.
Yeah.
It is punchy.
Yeah.
It punches you in the face when you hear it.
Yeah.
It's
4
like
times.
both parts funky and edgy, I would say, which is definitely the vibe that I got from you guys when you walked into our studio.
Hell yeah.
2 funky, edgy gingers.
Yeah, well, you accomplished that through your name.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate
so
it.
you guys have been working together for over a year now, is that right?
Over
yeah,
2
well
years
over
now.
A year.
Over
yeah.
2
Yeah.
years. Okay, so what is the story behind how y'all met?
Ooh, so this is a fun one. I'll take the reins on this.
Yeah,
one a
you
little
got
bit. So I was running sound for an open mic at this bar called Barzar in Wilmington, and I had just kind of like been going there a little bit and realizing that like nobody was gonna run the soundboard, and I'm like obsessed with like audio engineering and stuff, and so I was volunteering myself to take it upon as my responsibility to make sure that the sound was good. And one fateful day, like soon after I started running sound there, maybe like it was like the second time I'd ever done it, Chapman comes up on stage, first time ever seeing him, and he's so sweet, he's so nice. He just like gets on the stage and he's just like, hey, you're running sound? And I'm like, yeah, like plug in right here. And I like plug him in and like get him set up real quick. And just like, I don't know, this is like really funny. The one time I ever brought my headphones to run sound, put my headphones on, and the moment he starts singing, I'm just like, oh my God, this guy can sing. It blew me away like instantly. And I think he started singing Hot Blood by Kaleo at the time. And it really, really impressed me. I mean, he's got some pipes on him, if you don't already know. He's really good. And I was kind of awestruck at the time, and he actually also played Hopeless Romantic that night. And once I found out that was an original song, I was just kind of blown away. And so I went up to him and I was like, yo, that was really, really good. Crazy question. Are you trying to start a band? Like, are you playing music? And, are you already in a band? And he was like, so nice. He was like, yeah, that would be so awesome. And so we, decided like, yo, we should meet up. Let's play music. Like, let's do it. And, yeah, that was pretty much the start of it. That was really how it all kind of came to fruition.
Yeah. Is that the same recollection you have of
No,
that?
yeah, that was pretty much the same recollection. Yeah. Because I played that night, and you were supposed to play that night too.
This is a really crucial part of the story.
You weren't.
They didn't let me play.
We ran out of time or something.
And I was so excited because I was like, okay, this is my shot at showing this guy what I can do now. Because he already played, and I was gonna play at the end of the night because I'm running sound. I'm not just gonna like wedge myself in the middle of it or something. And it was getting pretty late. Everybody was leaving, and I was right about to get up and play. And I literally plugged in, set my own sound up, got up on stage, and then I was like, right about to start, and then the host at the time came up to me and was like, yo, we have to stop, like it's too late. It's too late. I was like, what? So I just like had gotten done running sound the whole night and then got like booted off the stage. And so like a small handful of people who were like still hanging out were like, you should still play, like come out,
including yours truly.
You should still play, like let's go outside and just like play a couple songs. And we did, and it was really fun. And There's a little bit more of an elongated story for this, but it gets really funny. But so way loop around to this whole like situation. I had actually met Chapman's sister months before this had ever happened. While I was playing at Duck and Dive, I was just doing like a little solo acoustic opening set for another band, and basically like his sister came up to me and was like, yo, your vibe is awesome. Like, you need to meet my brother. Like, I feel like you guys, if you jammed, like, he's trying to start a band. Like, y'all would have, like, some magic. Like, definitely do it. And she, like, gives me his, like, Instagram handle at the time. And I send him a friend request, does not respond. See his sister a second time, like, 2 months later. And she's like, did you ever get up with my brother? Like, and I'm like, no, he never, like, accepted my friend request.
I am classically bad at Instagram.
Oh my God.
So bad at it.
So that was like a right time, right moment.
Yeah.
Well, so the funniest part about that is, like, as we were leaving after meeting for the first time, I'm like, what's your Instagram, man? Like, I'll hit you up on there. And he tells me his Instagram handle. And as soon as he leaves, I pull it up on my phone, like search his name. And I'm like, this is the guy that still hasn't accepted my friend request on Instagram. And no, it was so funny. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, I know who he is. I know, like he comes here, like, okay, this is higher chance.
This is a lead now.
I can see why his sister was trying to get us together. I was like, it made sense. Like we have like a similar vibe.
Yeah,
and,
that's great. We have a similar vibe. You guys look like brothers.
We get that a lot.
So often.
We might be related. We should take a 23andMe.
I know, bro. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's evident that you guys work so well together. I mean, you act like you've known each other your whole lives.
It feels like it.
How does that work with songwriting? Is it more of a collaboration, or is it, a split between instrumental and lyrics?
A lot of the songs that we play as of right now are songs that I wrote like before I even knew Blake. before I knew all the homies in Dead Fox. And but recently we've started to like write more collectively. But before then it was like more, it looked like me kind of coming to Blake with like a song and being like, yo, like, what do you think about this? And like there are a lot of places in a lot of the songs where like Blake has like put his touch. And I like one of my favorite moments is in a song called Runner, which I wrote before I knew Blake, is this like change in the chord progression, and like we wrote more lyrics to put on top of it, but it was Blake's idea to put it in there, and it's just this like little seven that's like
Little
seven chord, like, you know, just hidden in there, and it's super cool.
I like playing like a more editorial role.
Okay.
I like to just kind of like offer suggestions along the way. Like I always like to just like tweak things, you know. It's hard for me to like really like write the band a song, you know, that like resonates with everybody, because I feel like I have like a really niche way of like writing songs for myself. And in the context of the band, I always feel like as a drummer, I'm sort of like remixing another songwriter's idea.
Yeah. Is that what happened with Hopeless Romantic? It started out as acoustic and then
Oh yeah.
I was like, we
it
need
got
to be
edited.
a rock band.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of happened with like a lot of the songs. Like they were all like very acoustic-y, and then like the whole like us moving to the drum kit with a bass, and like the whole electric vibe, it quickly became apparent that we would have to like soft rewrite some of these songs,
Yeah,
and like
kinda, like,
figure out
reimagine
how
everything.
figure out how they fit into the new sound.
Yeah.
And that was a cool thing.
And we're still doing like a lot of that today. I mean, we always come to new realizations about how to better fit the context of a song to really like accommodate to a rock band.
Mhm.
And a lot of this stuff, it just sort of kind of comes in the moment. Like we'll write a new intro to a song, or just maybe change how a chord is played, or, you know, just like little things like that go a long way, especially with like electric guitars. There has to be like a lot of like focus on like how the energy carries. And that's like something that we're just constantly expanding on.
Yeah, your sound is really unique. I mean, I would say like a combination of a bunch of different genres,
Well, thank you.
honestly.
I appreciate that.
How would you
yeah.
guys describe it, though?
Ooh,
It's like sad boy blues, like
with
little
like
thrashy, angry.
yeah, like a bluesy like sad boy rock music with a little bit of Latin flair,
Yeah.
like the smallest little bit.
A lot of sad boy is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
The common
A lot of the
theme.
subject matter, you know.
It's very relevant today. I feel.
Okay. Oh, no. Well, I mean, you used to be an acoustic duo, I would say.
Mhm.
How do you think your sound has changed from, well, not only expanding your instruments to electric, but also expanding your band with people?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, I don't know. I think like our sound has definitely gotten louder.
Much louder.
But like adding like Keon and Q to the band, it's become like, I don't know, I feel like it's become a lot more grandiose. Like at first Dead Fox had a very sweet undertone to it. Like
Mhm.
there was something about it that made people, you know, kind of make like an awe face,
We're kind
you
of
know.
wholesome. We're kind of flowery sometimes, you know.
But then, like, you know, we started playing like all the rock shows and doing that kind of like having a lot more energy.
Really
and
leaning
it's,
into like the fire of
yeah,
it.
and it's become a lot more like angry at times, and a lot more like triumphant almost at times. Like there are very like big moments that were not like possible before.
And then also like kind of moving from being a duo to a four-piece, I feel like the band itself is a lot more organic and sort of its own thing that kind of comes to like different things that maybe like me and Chapman wouldn't really get to by just kind of pinging ideas back and forth. Like it kind of can get like there's sort of like a staleness, I feel like, after a while. Like we sort of knew that the sound was really destined to kind of grow into like a full rock band.
Yeah.
And it really just sort of like opens a lot of doors to creativity when it comes to any type of suggestion that Q or Keon might introduce to the band, and we just take it and run with it. And every single time we change like some little tiny variable, it just becomes so much better for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you said your sound, very collective. It's kind of a mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your inspiration behind your songs?
Ooh. I get a lot of different inspiration from a lot of different places. I would say like as far as lyrics, like Father John Misty, yes. Father John Misty, Rainbow Kitten Surprise,
Big one.
Great.
big one, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know, people like Briss Cimarroni,
Mhm.
like those those names, like the people that just like, oh my gosh.
There's really there's almost like a playlist of the early
Yeah, I was
days.
gonna
Yeah,
say, like,
exactly.
listing my
Yeah.
playlist.
Yeah. And I would say like this is more than just the lyrics. Like this band, like really, like as far as like, I don't know, like song structure and stuff, like they inspire me. The Backseat Lovers, so good. But yeah, like that's like when I think along the lines of like lyrics, those are the bands that come to mind. But then sound, it's like a completely different thing. Like when
Yeah.
I think of sound, it's like you're like Kaleo or like a little bit of Black Keys or White Stripes or like stuff like that. Like when I want to like rock out and feel cool, like riding down the road or whatever, like listen to those bombastic, loud rock bands,
Cruising your Harley, just
cruising on the Harley. Yeah.
I think you nailed it then.
Yeah.
All right. So even though you guys only met about 2 years ago, how long have you both been making music in general?
Ooh, personally, I have been making music since I was about 13 years old. I started off making electronic music. I really wanted to make like weird goth techno. That was my life goal at the time. And as time went on, I started to come into this realization that this is probably the wrong genre of music for me to pick right off rip and want to make, because I had no knowledge of music theory at all. And at one point, when I was about 15 or 16, I started thinking like, if I really want to make music, I need to understand it. And I feel like the best way to understand music is learning how to play an instrument. I was convinced I needed to like be in a rock band instead of just like going down the route of tinkering away with knobs and stuff forever and not actually coming up with anything good, just sort of messing around. Like I was doing everything based around keys and stuff, but I had no idea how to play the keyboard. I was just like playing one note at a time. And eventually I started making rock music. I started playing drums, and that changed my life completely. And I didn't start playing drums until I was about 17. And that really just changed everything for me. And I've just been pretty much obsessed with being in a band, like supporting the local scene and really just understanding how music affects people really ever since I was 17 all the way up now until 26. So for really the last better 10 years of my life, I've just kind of given everything to understanding the ins and outs of being in a band and really like playing your role as a musician, and everything that kind of goes with it has just been a very long journey for me personally.
Great.
Why Blake is the manager, everyone.
That was also a joke. I'm not actually the manager. If anyone is looking for a band to manage, though, we are definitely open in that
Gosh,
position.
we need
a manager so bad. If any like crazy label executives out there, we are ready.
You guys heard it here.
Sign us immediately.
As for me, I've been like playing music like in I don't know, I've been playing like the guitar since 9th grade. But as far as like making my own music, that didn't happen until later. Like I always like plinked around, but I was always like one to like just learn a cover that I really loved. And then once it was, I don't know, once I was around like in 11th grade, 12th grade, so like 17, 18, I I started like really like messing around with like songwriting and writing my own music and like kind of exploring that. And that whole thing became something very quick. I started like gigging with all of like the covers that I had learned before, and my newfound like songs that I had written. So it's been, I don't know, it's been a good what is it, like 5 years that I've been writing my own music. But I've been like singing since I was like a little kid. Did all those like school plays and stuff like that.
I think an important difference in me and Chapman's dynamic is that like while I was sort of hitting the books and trying to understand how to be a band, like how to just be in a band, Chapman was maxing out his ability to actually retain and perform music. And I just kind of went all in on being a drummer along the way.
It's a good balance.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what really like allowed us to get out there and just immediately start performing and playing music, playing gigs, and eventually jump up to playing shows and making a little bit of traction for ourselves along the way. I mean, I personally can't play a single cover. I can play guitar for hours and hours, and I love guitar so much, like guitar, bass, or drums, but I cannot for the life of me memorize anything except for anything I write. But Chapman can learn 4 hours of music.
Hours of covers
Wow.
just in a vault in my mind.
Well, I read on your blog, Blake.
Oh, no.
Oh, the first person I've
God.
heard.
It's not hard to find.
Yeah,
I know the look.
Yeah.
Okay. So I read on your blog that you are not only a part of Dead Fox, but you are also the creator of your own recording studio
True.
and record label.
Yes, that is very true. Stella
Called-
Maris Records.
Stella Maris Records.
Yes.
Okay, so does that mean that you produce your own music for Dead Fox?
I do. I do produce music for Dead Fox. We're working on a single right now. Should I say what it is?
Just say what it is.
I'm done. Yeah.
Shout it from the rooftops.
I'm also currently working on 2 other main projects at the moment. I'm working with Strangers in Public on, I believe, 2 separate EPs, which will be coming out very soon. I'm very excited for that, as well
take.
as
Mhm.
working on a single for Jade and Money right now.
Oh.
Yes, this is
Okay.
it's a lot of fun. I mean, running a recording studio and just being immersed in music 24/7 is everything 13-year-old me dreamed of, and I really just couldn't imagine being at this point now and just being able to do this, for a living, really.
So could you tell us the story behind how Stella Maris Records started?
Yeah, so it started from me and Q, our bass player. We were both running the Stella Maris hostel. We had taken over ownership of the hostel while we were both volunteering there at the time, and we decided, or we both really had a mutual interest for recording music, and we wanted to start a recording studio. It was just like a shared dream that we both had. And at first, we actually built like a tiny little like pillow fort studio at the hostel. And eventually we realized like this is not going to fly because like guests are not going to enjoy this. So we could only really do stuff like that when there was nobody around the hostel. And so eventually we, one fateful day, while we were talking about needing to get a practice space for the band, as Q had just decided that he wanted to start playing bass with us because we had just been gifted a drum set. It was a very, very like, honestly, these were like formative times in the story of the band. But I would say like the turning point was one day when we were all just hanging out in the staff room of the hostel and talking about how we needed to get a practice space for the drum kit, really. He was just like scrolling through Craigslist and he found that there was availability at this place called Pyramid Rehearsal. And so we immediately called the number and we were able to get a tour that day. And eventually we expanded from the room that we immediately acquired to the room next door, which they were originally 2 separate rooms. And we moved into what was the control room of the studio, and the window dividing the 2 rooms and the door were boarded up. And we talked to the owner about connecting the rooms back together, and they were super excited about it. And they were, I feel like they were honestly like they're just very excited to just hear that, and they really took it to the next level, and they renovated the entire other recording room and connected the rooms back together, took the boards off, and then bada bing, bada boom, we got a recording studio now. So
Great, that's great.
Crazy.
Well, a lot of your songs are unreleased. You guys are kind of hard to track down.
We're super secretive.
Yep.
So I am excited for these new projects coming up.
Thank you.
With you guys.
Thank you.
And I think on that note, we're going to take a short break to play y'all.
Oh, we're going to be playing Runner right now. Yeah.
We're going to take a short break to play y'all Runner by none other than Dead Fox Snow Groove. Chapman and Blake have come into the studio to play this original song, almost going back to their roots. They're going to be playing it as an acoustic duo. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Lucy.
With me, running through my daydreams, and I try chasing after you, 'cause don't you want me to, or do you? So many questions that I can't ask, like why can't I perform this task of loving you, but keep it on the down low, trusting you, 'cause people be saying so many things. If they find out about you and me, girl, can't you see you're killing me? I can't stop doing this, can't you see it's my emotions that kill me? Listening to me, yeah. Listening to me, listening to my heart, listening to my soul. Please let me go, I wanna go home. I wanna scream as loud as I can for someone to please come and take my hand and pull me out of this deep, deep water. Feeling like a lamb waiting for its slaughter. Been searching for too long for someone to fill my mind, and now that she's here, I can't describe this dreadful feeling taking me over. Why did I tell her I loved her? Listening to me, listening to me, listening to my heart, listening to my soul. Please let me go, I wanna go home. Listening to my heart, listening to my soul. Please let me go, I wanna go home. Listen to me.
That was the acoustic version of Runner by Dead Fox No Groove. I hope y'all enjoyed. So, how do you guys prefer to play, acoustics or electric?
Ooh, I personally prefer to play as loud as humanly possible. So when we're like electric, that's everything for me. But I love coming back to our roots and kind of showing people how the band started. I feel like it builds some lore to it, and the fact that we're able to still go out there and do it today really does mean a lot to me, honestly, because I feel like it does keep us grounded. I feel like rocking out too much can sort of change you as a person. So every once in a while, when we come back and humble ourselves, I feel like it goes a long way.
That was a great answer.
Thank you.
I also like the rocked out version. Like it's a lot more energy, and but I don't, honestly, I couldn't have said it better. But
Try.
you know, I think like the rock like definitely changes the music a lot more.
Yeah.
It can be
It's
kind of
nice to
spooky
come back.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, now we got to talk about your upcoming performances. So this October, I think the 19th, is you guys playing at the North Carolina State Fair here in
Yes.
Raleigh.
Yep.
We will be playing at the State Fair from 11 in the morning to 12, and then again from 12:30 to 1:30 for 2 separate 1-hour long sets.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So is this going to be the largest performance you guys have done as a group?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to expect because we also have another really exciting show coming up on the 8th of October. The Wilmington River Fest is going
Ooh.
to be super, super exciting. I mean, we've just really read a lot about Wilmington River Fest. We haven't been here for it because they haven't had one in about 3 years. And both me and Chapman moved there to Wilmington about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, we missed it. Missed it by just like a slim little window. But yeah, we're going to be playing at 2 o'clock for a little 30-minute set. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how the turnout is for that.
Yeah. So I think, but this is definitely like the biggest event, you know, like it's like the North Carolina State Fair, you know.
Yeah.
We've definitely never played something like a state fair before.
Yeah,
easily.
definitely not.
But we'll see how the turnout is, if we can get some people to turn their heads or something.
We're going to rock the State Fair out.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I hope they put us like next to the kids zone, just like the River Fest.
I want to see you like banging on the drums and eating a big ol' turkey leg at the same time.
Oh
you
my
know.
I don't know. Maybe like a Twizzler or something.
Okay, heard.
Might be easier to manage.
So should people expect covers or originals from you guys?
With an hour-long set, probably both. We have around 10 songs that are originals, and I would say around 7 of those we play. The other 3 are like work in progress.
Yeah, we're workshopping them.
Yeah.
Looking at you, little strip of beach.
Oh my gosh, that song. It needs keys. We need a key player, Blake.
You can play the keys though.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you gotta sing.
But yeah, so that show will definitely be a mix of the best covers that we play and our originals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are your 2 upcoming performances. When was your last performance? What was that like?
Ooh, so our last performance as a band, or our last performance
In
as
general.
in general? Because sometimes
It's been
you
a
know,
minute for the band. That's a great question though. What was our last show as the band? Oh my gosh, it's been at least a couple months now.
yeah, our last show as a band was Dram Tree. I would say,
Dram Fest.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dram Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Was it really that long ago?
I think so.
What have we been doing? Oh my god.
You've been working on your new project.
Exactly.
That's so true. We gotta have this album out.
Oh,
We need it.
So, do you as a band take any rituals before you go on a performance?
I love to, like, once we get on stage, everybody's like all sound checked. I at least do one round of "I love you, we gonna kill this"
Aw.
to
Who
everyone.
does
You
do
know.
that? Oh my gosh. I never thought about that.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like roll around on the floor and scream for 15 minutes before we get up there. Just to
Blake,
get all
we
the
gotta
nerves out.
go.
So, like a true rock star. Well, what is next for Dead Fox No Groove, you guys? What's the goal? What's the dream?
We're going to Vegas.
We're going to no, we're going to Japan, Blake.
Oh, no, we're going to Japan. I forgot. I gotta get my passport. Jappy just got his.
I just
I'm
got my
behind.
passport. I'm so excited.
We're going
I'm
to
so
Japan.
excited. Yeah, no, we wanted to, like, the roadmap as of right now is to get this album out and then just put it on blast.
Mhm.
Like send it to anyone and everyone. Like friends, family, bookers, those and just try to get those, you know, bigger shows. We want to put the NC State Fair to shame by
Yeah.
this time next year, you know.
I just want my dad to hear it, you know. I
Yeah.
want my dad to see what's going on. I feel like that'd be fun.
Those are great. 2 shows a day, 4 nights a week.
Yes.
Easy money. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
How much
That's
research
awesome.
did you do about us before we came on here?
This
I
is
don't know.
that's impressive. That's actually impressive.
All right, well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about or mention before we close off?
Ooh, I would say to anybody out there listening, if you ever really struggle with fears, you know, insecurity and self-doubt, just get out there, put a smile on your face, go out there and try to live. It's always better to just keep pushing, you know. I personally, I feel like me and Chapman, like we struggle a lot with like certain elements to just, you know, life and just society, I feel like, and just trying to make it through playing music and being happy. And I think, you know, I can't speak for you personally when it comes to all this, but music is the one thing that really gets me up every day and gets me out there facing the world. So I would say really think, you know, just focus on the thing that makes you happy in life and live your dreams, see your passions out. You can do it.
Well said. All right, so where can our viewers see your socials or listen to your music?
You can find us at Dead Fox No Groove on pretty much everything. We have a couple of little videos out on YouTube, but the thing that we check the most and are on the most is Instagram. That's where you can see our upcoming shows and our newest content. We'll be putting our like music when it finally comes out on blast on that platform, and everything else that we're on. But yeah, Dead Fox No Groove everywhere.
Shout out WKNC. Thank you so much for having us,
thank
Lucy.
you so much.
It's been a pleasure
88.1.
to meet you both, Blake and Chapman. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in and talk to me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and you can check out the interviews I do with other local artists at wknc.org/podcasts by clicking on Off the Record. I am DJ Lucid, and this is Off the Record. You were just listening to Dead Fox No Groove on WKNC 88.1 FM, HD1 Raleigh. Ow! I'm going to send y'all off with one more song by our friends Chapman and Blake called Hopeless Romantic. They're going to play it right here in our studio for you. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch y'all next time.
She done played me for the last time. She took my heart and never realized how bad she left me in the dark. How much I wanted to be a part of her life. Well, that's just a lie. I tell myself there are other girls, but when she smiles, she makes my world brighter than the light. Of all the stars in the sky, I wanna tell her how much I long for her to walk with me along this crooked road. We'll share the load, 'cause I'm a hopeless romantic who can't keep up with my own antics. She takes one look at me and I swear I'm free, but it's just not meant to be. She says one word and I'm there. God, it's just not fair that a love just ain't for me. It ain't for me. No, 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 no. But those eyes had me right under command, and so I said the only thing I knew. Why did I expect her to be untrue to herself? I guess I played myself, 'cause I'm a hopeless romantic who can't keep up with my own antics. She takes one look at me and I swear I'm free, but it's just not meant to be. She says one word and I'm there. God, it's just not fair that a love just ain't for me. It ain't for me. No, 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 no. Love just